Welcome everyone to Doga Yoga. Today we're doing a beautiful slow flow class. So we'll be moving in a very considered pace, nothing fast, having some beautiful deep stretches and just take our time, savor the sensations. This is really great if you are really stressed at work and you just really need to take some time to work through some things, really relax the hips and shoulders before bed. Or you just want something beautiful and a little bit slower to really wake you up this morning. So we're going to start in child's pose. Come on down to your mat. You can take your knees as wide as is comfortable for you. So you might take them really wide. You might have them hip distance apart. Bring the big toes together. And we're just going to gently send our hips towards our heels. Walk our hands forward and just melt our forehead onto the earth. Melt the shoulder blades down the back, so we're creating lots of space in our neck. And just breathe. Inhale, fill the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale, just start to slow down, to soften. Inhale. And exhale. Start to notice the sensations in the body. Notice the sensations in the breath. Notice the weight of the body just melting into the earth. And just see how your breath is showing up for you. So is your breath super fast and shallow at the moment? Or is it deep and full? As you start to bring your awareness, filling up all three chambers from the belly to the ribs to the collarbones, is it easy to find that deep breathing, find that expansion? Or is it quite difficult? So observe how your breath is showing up for you today without judgment. When you're ready, we'll just try and bring the intention of slow, deep breathing. So see if you can start to slow the breath just with ease. Find that deep, full breath. And exhale, allow yourself to just soften. Nice, luxurious exhale, just let everything go. Start to melt tension in the lower back, the shoulders, the neck, just into the earth. And be. When you're ready, we're going to lift the forehead super gently. Just make our way into our tabletop. Nice and slow. So what I mean by that is our knees come underneath our hips, our wrists come underneath our shoulders, and the weight's distributed evenly here. So rock side to side, forward and back, and notice the weight in each fingertip, each knuckle. So we're not dumping the weight into our wrists. So imagine we're gripping the mat. So we're gripping it and then pushing away. When we're ready, when we feel even, we're going to drop our belly and send our gaze forward and up. Our shoulder blades melt down the back into cow. And exhale, we're going to curve the spine the other way, navel to spine, chin to chest, tailbone tucks under into cow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Flow with the breath, gently waking up. Gently moving. And gently just checking in with the body. Noticing what niggles are coming up for you right now. Already, we'll come back to stillness. I'm just going to walk our hands forward. And because we're moving quite slowly today, you might want to pad your knees because we'll be here for a little bit of time. Grab cushions, pillows, just take whatever levels or take what you need to make sure your body feels really good. So I'm just going to walk my hands forward and melt my heart, melt my forehead towards the earth. My shoulder blades are down the back, so I'm not creating lots of crinking or pinching in my neck. I'm just releasing here, really opening up the shoulder blades, opening up the heart, opening up the breastplate. And with each exhale, just soften. Just let go. It's so easy for us to want to rush through postures, jump from one to the other, but when we slow down, we really get so much greater healing and greater benefit from the awareness of the posture. So notice where your weight is going. Notice what physical sensations are coming up for you. Notice how your breath is changing or reacting to this physical posture today. Notice what comes up for you mentally. Having our forehead on the ground is very introspective, sending our gaze inward to see if your thoughts are rushing by, trying to draw your attention to the future or the past or certain problems. And just observe. When we're ready, lift the forehead. Walk the hands out. Oh, so nice. And we're going to just tuck the toes under here and come into our first downward facing dog of the day. So send the hips up nice and slowly. Just take our time and really just get into the movement. We might walk the dog quite a bit, dropping one heel and then the other, bending the knees. Or you might just be still, really getting that evenness of weight, pressing into all 5 fingers, all 5 toes, melting the chest towards the thighs and the crown of the head towards the earth. So just lengthen and find your downward facing dog today. Might start to lengthen the legs, squeeze the kneecaps and the tailbone a little bit higher. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So nice. Now you have a couple of options here. You can lift this right heel up into the sky, or you can come down into your tabletop. And wherever we are, we'll eventually all get this right knee towards our nose and get it in between our hands, coming down into a lunge. You might have to pick this foot up, wriggle it, take a bit of time, knee and ankle in alignment, and just melt the hips down here. Really open up. These back toes can be tucked or untucked. Just find what feels good for you. And come up onto the fingertips, melt the shoulder blades down the back, and just send the tailbone towards the earth, really opening up this hip flexor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to get our right hand to the inside of our right foot. Just wriggle that right foot out just a little bit, not too far. And we're going to really get into this right hip today. So you can just stay here. You might even have blocks that our hands are on. Sending the shoulder blades down the back still, wriggle them down. Or we might be able to come down onto our forearms. Just find where feels good. Squeezing this right knee into the midline and breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more big, beautiful breath. Just soften, slow and release. When we're ready, we're gently going to come back onto our hands. Come on the outside edge of that foot. Just gently guide the right foot out, and we might stay on our hands here. We might put our hand to that knee, guide it out. Our hand can go towards that hip, reach behind us. Oh, so nice. Really just noticing the sensations, moving nice and slowly. Sending the shoulder blades down the back. Notice the sensations in the hip joint, in our other hip flexor, in our neck. When we're ready, come on back. Now we're going to wriggle our right hand to the outside of our right foot, and we're going to wriggle our right foot towards our left wrist. We're going to come into our pigeon pose. So literally get this foot to the back of the left wrist and then lie on down. Wriggle this back leg back. Now you might need a cushion or a pillow underneath your hip here just to get comfy, or you might just really enjoy being on the fingertips. If this is good for you, walk your fingertips just back a few paces and open up the chest. Really notice the sensations here and breathe. And when we're ready, we're gently going to walk our fingertips forward. Now we're going to walk our right hand forward and our left hand twists underneath, reaching towards the right. We're coming into a twisted pigeon here. So relax the shoulders, relax the gaze, and just breathe. Trying to lengthen the spines from the shoulder blades down the back. And just soften onto your mat. Slow down and enjoy, savor this time. Savor this present moment. When we're ready, we're gently going to come on up. Back onto the fingertips. Just walk them back a little bit, a couple of spaces. Open up the chest once more. Really feel the breastbones, the shoulder bones. Really send them back and away. And when we're ready, we're going to plant our hands, tuck these back toes, come back into our downward facing dog. And take your time here. You might walk with the dog. You might be still. When we're ready, we're going to push into that right foot, or we can come down into our tabletop position. Option to lift this left foot high and then bring the left knee towards your nose. Get this foot in between our hands here, lowering down onto the back knee. Now we'll untuck these back toes, melt the hips down, come onto the tops of the fingertips, melt the shoulders down and away, and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just start to soften the shoulders. Just let go. When you're ready, plant the hands. Get this left hand to the outside, or inside, of this left foot. Wriggle that left foot out just a little bit. And we might just stay here, and you might be like, this is more than enough. You might be on blocks. Or you might come down onto the forearms, really getting into that hip and keeping this knee in towards the midline. So we're not flaying it out just yet. Finding length and softening. Finding length and softening. Finding length and releasing. Come on up onto both of our palms once more. We're gently going to come onto the outside edge of this left foot. And you might just keep your hands on the ground, or you might guide it out. Send that knee out, hand to the back of the hip, reach that hand behind. If that feels good for you, just breathe. We'll come back to center, get this foot in. I'm going to take it to the left hand to the outside of the left foot, wriggle the left foot over towards the right, behind the right wrist, and lay this knee down, wriggle our right leg back. Come up onto the fingertips and walk them a couple of spaces back, and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're gently going to take our fingertips forward, reach our left hand forward, and reach our right hand underneath, reaching towards the left. Ear goes down to the ground. And breathe here. When you're ready, gently press into this left hand, rise on up. I'm going to tuck these back toes under, press into our hand and come back into our downward facing dog. And just pedal the feet here. I'm going to lower down onto the knees and we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to send the shoulders above the wrists and we're going to lower the heart down onto the earth, but keep the hips high. So lower it down, press the heart onto the earth, the chin is forward, the shoulder blades are down the back, and the hips are high. Beautiful spinal release here. So find your comfy space. Find what works for you. When ready, gently lower the hips down onto the earth and just breathe. Untuck the toes, press the tops of the toes and toenails into the ground. And just soften. We're going to reach our hands wide, really grip the earth. Feel the chest open. How nice does that feel? Then we're going to walk our right fingertips in towards our right shoulder. Our gaze goes towards the right. We're going to kick our right foot over towards the left. So we're coming up onto the left side. So reaching towards that left with that left hand still, feeling a beautiful shoulder and also hip release here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale once more. And release. Just lay down on the ground, reach the arms wide, grip the earth, just feel the shoulders expand. We're going to pick these left fingers up, walk them on in. Underneath our shoulder, we're going to kick this left foot over towards the right, come up onto the right shoulder, and just really savor the sensation here. So shoulder blades are down the back, spine is long. You can really grip the mat with the earth here. You might keep this hand here, you might reach it high, you might take it back. Just find what feels good. And if you want a deeper stretch, you might actually come up, bring this right foot up so the hips are actually turning onto the ground. It's kind of like you're laying on your back for a deeper shoulder blade stretch. When you're ready, come back to center and just lay onto the ground. So nice. I'm going to pick both fingers up, walk them in just to the outside edges of our mat. Find our comfy spot here. And inhale, rise on up into a cobra variation, putting into the ground with the big toes and the hips. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise on up. And lower. One more. Inhale. And exhale, just release. That feels so nice. So just breathe here. Hands are on the ground, shoulders are relaxed. You can stay here, or we have an optional extra, nice shoulder opener here. I'm going to wriggle my right hand over towards my left and my left over my right. So I'm crossing my arms and they're reaching both ways. So you can stay here, you can rest your forehead or your chin onto the arms and try and get them as straight as possible. Just lay quite literally onto your arms and breathe. When we're ready, we're going to wriggle our hands back into place. And then we're going to swap arms. Whatever arm was on top, our other arm is going to go on top now. So we wriggled our right hand over first to be on the bottom. So we're going to wriggle our left hand over to be on the bottom. And our right over top this time. And just lay on back down. And just find that place of ease. Find that place of comfort. When you're ready, back to center. We're going to make our way back into our child's pose in our own time. Forehead towards the earth, and just release the lower back, release the hips. Letting go. When we're ready, and we're gently going to sweep our hands towards our feet and sit on up here. Walking our hands further backwards, if that feels good for you, really opening up the chest. And just take a few deep breaths here, just savoring the sensation. Notice what's going on. When we're ready, we're going to walk our hands forward. We're going to tuck our tailbone under and rise on up all the way. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Now we're going to come into our camel pose. So you can just massage side to side here on your glutes, just getting into the lower back, giving it a little bit of attention and love. We don't give it a lot of love or attention, and it definitely needs it. Or we can actually come into our full camel. So get our fingers, face them upward, and just press in to this fleshy part of our glute. Sending the hips forward, the chest back, and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You might be able to grab the soles of the feet here, squeezing the shoulder blades, neck is long. And breathe. When you're ready, gently come on up. Take your time. And then just relax down, hands on the ground, cross the ankles, and literally just roll on over into a seated position. So get yourself comfy here. You might be on a block, you might be on a blanket. Take your time. I'm going to take one big arm circle all together, up overhead, fingertips touch. And exhale, take them wide. Just really savor the sensation, opening up the chest and the heart today, all about that. Fingers on the ground. I'm going to I'll mirror you, keep our right fingers on the ground. I'm going to bring our left ear to our left shoulder. So nice, gentle opening. If you'd want a bit of a deeper stretch, place your hand on your head and just not forcing, but just let gravity literally just take it. Let your body heal. Create space and time for it to heal. Space in the breath, space in the muscles, space in the vertebra, in the joints. And mentally create space so you can focus on healing. Getting out of that fight or flight mode, out of that stressful mode, always wondering what we've got to do next, into our parasympathetic nervous system, into our rest and digest mode. So into a place where we can work a little bit slower. We allow our muscles to relax. We allow our body to go into a healing state because we've told it that we are in a safe place. We are giving it a space, we're giving it a place to heal. And that takes time. When we're ready, we're going to gently release, come back to center, place that hand down. I'm going to bring our right ear, there we go, mirroring, to our left shoulder and just be here for a moment. You might place your hand on your head and help deepen the stretch. Just find what feels good and find what works for you, and just make sure the gaze is going up a little bit rather than down. And just play. Notice where you are time. Notice where those niggles, those nervy little pains are. And just breathe into those spaces. Give them the attention and the love that they deserve. And ready, release. And back to center. Find length in the spine. Oh. And take one big arm circle all together up overhead. Fingertips touch and interlace the fingers here. Send the knuckles high. Squeeze the biceps in and curve the upper back, opening up the chest. Oh, so nice. We're going to bring our chin towards our chest. Shoulder blades are still down the back. Biceps are still squeezing in. And we're going to send our hands down, if this feels good for you, resting on the back of your head. And we're not forcing this down. This is a very delicate, very sensitive area, so we don't need to provide force. We just allow gravity to naturally do its work. Let ourselves create space. Create space and time for healing and change. And remember to keep your spine long, we're not curving here. And just naturally stretching. Notice what's coming up for you. Are you really tight on one side or the other? Or is it really getting into your shoulder blades further down your back? Just observe what is going on with your body. Already we're gently going to release. Come on up. Oh, so nice. Walk our fingers behind us, open up our chest, just tilt our chin backwards just a little way. We don't often do this. Look up. We always look down at our phones, look down at the negative solutions. Think small, but look up, look at the sky, look at the opportunities. And just bask in that sensation. Bask in the space that you've created today. Space of slowness and softness and healing. And when you're ready, come back to center. Just one hand on one knee, one hand on the other. You might like to turn your palms up, even taking a mudra. Close down the eyes and stay here for 10 deep, beautiful breaths. When we're ready, we'll gently crack open our eyes. You might stay here. You might stay here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you need. And if you'd like to finish class today, take your arms up overhead, fingertips touch, and back to heart center. Sending you lots of love and gratitude, beautiful yogis. Namaste.